My name is Lily. I am 20 years old, and I live in a small town near the hills. My days are quiet and simple. I wake up early, help my mother with housework, read books, and sometimes walk in nature. Walking is my favorite activity. It makes me feel free. I can breathe fresh air, hear the sound of birds, and think about my dreams. I often dream about traveling to new places, but I have never left my small town. My life feels small, but my mind is full of questions. One Saturday morning, I decided to walk into the forest near my home. The sky was bright blue, and the air was cool. I carried a small bag with water, an apple, and my phone. Before leaving, I told my mother, I will be back before lunch. She smiled and waved. I felt safe and happy as I walked toward the trees. The beginning of my walk was peaceful. I saw butterflies on the flowers and heard the river flowing softly. The forest smelled of pine and earth. The sun shone between the leaves, and everything seemed calm. I walked slowly, enjoying the silence. For the first 15 minutes, it was just me, the trees, and the sound of nature. I felt light, like the world was mine. But then, something unusual happened. I suddenly heard footsteps behind me. My heart started to beat faster. I stopped and turned quickly, but no one was there. The path was empty. I tried to laugh and whispered, maybe it was just an animal. But deep inside, I felt nervous. I continued walking, this time listening more carefully to every sound. After a few steps, I noticed something strange on the ground. It was a notebook. The cover was brown and old, made of leather. I bent down, picked it up, and brushed off the dirt. My hands shook a little as I opened the first page. Inside were short notes written in English. One sentence caught my eye, do not go too far. Stay near the river. It is safer. I froze. Who wrote this? Why was it left here? This was no longer a normal walk. I was holding a mystery in my hands. I wanted to leave the notebook and run home, but curiosity pulled me deeper. I put it in my bag and kept walking. The forest became quieter. Even the birds were silent now. Then I saw something else. A red scarf was hanging on a branch. It moved slowly in the wind. My heart jumped. I touched the fabric. It was soft and smelled like perfume. It was not old. Someone had been here recently. I looked around quickly. The trees stood tall and dark. My voice almost escaped my throat, ready to call, "Hello? Is anyone here?" But fear stopped me. I felt like invisible eyes were watching me. The path became darker as I walked further. Tall trees blocked the sunlight. My steps grew slower. I thought about the words in the notebook, stay near the river. It is safer. Suddenly, I wished I had listened. I wanted to go back, but then I heard another sound. A branch snapped, and leaves rustled. Someone, or something, was moving close by. I froze. My heart was so loud I thought it would break my chest. I turned my head slowly and saw a shadow move between the trees. But when I blinked, it disappeared. Fear took control. I turned around and walked fast toward the river. My legs felt heavy, but I did not stop. I wanted to be safe again. Every step echoed in my ears. Finally, the bright water of the river appeared ahead. I felt a wave of relief. I hurried to the edge and sat on a rock, breathing hard. The sound of the river calmed me a little. I opened my bag and looked at the notebook and the scarf. They were real. This was not just my imagination. I opened the notebook again. On the second page, there was a drawing of the forest. It was a simple map. It showed the river, a large oak tree, and an X marked near the edge of the forest. My eyes grew wide. Was this a treasure map? Or maybe a warning about danger? I did not know, but I felt both excited and afraid. I thought about following the map, but another part of me wanted to run home immediately. I imagined my mother waiting for me at lunch, smiling. I also thought about my father, who was stronger and wiser. Maybe he could read the notebook and understand it better than me. The scarf lay in my lap. I held it and closed my eyes for a moment. I could still smell the perfume. Someone had left it, but why? Were they lost? Were they in danger? Or did they want someone like me to find it? The questions filled my mind, and I felt small in the middle of the big forest. Finally, I made a decision. I would not follow the map alone. It was too risky. I would take the notebook and scarf home and show them to my father. Then, maybe together, we could return. I stood up and took a deep breath. I felt a little stronger. With one last look at the river, I turned toward home. The walk back felt shorter, as if the forest itself was pushing me out. The trees opened, and the light grew brighter. The scary sounds were gone. When I finally saw my town again, I felt safe. When I arrived home, my mother was setting the table for lunch. She looked at me and smiled. "You are back. Did you enjoy your walk?" she asked. I smiled back, but my smile was weak. "Yes, it was interesting," I answered. Inside, I knew my walk was more than interesting. It had changed something in me. I had left home for a simple walk, but I returned with secrets in my bag, a notebook full of warnings and a red scarf that smelled of perfume. I sat down for lunch, but my mind was far away in the forest. The map, the shadow, the footsteps, they were all inside me now. I wondered what the X on the map meant. I wondered if the person who lost the scarf was still in the forest. And I wondered if one day, I would be brave enough to go back and find out.